Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the Bass Blaster Audio Tech YouTube channel. And this video, I got one I gotta get done quick. While I wait for my Infinity deck to get the part in, still. This is the factory head from my dad's 2000 Ram, and it doesn't work. Well, he's talking about selling it, so I need to hurry up and open this thing up and see why it's dead. It used to work. I'd run it in here all the time just because I'd be bored. And now when you turn it on, it's dead. It doesn't even try to turn on, but when you flip the power switch, you can hear the speakers pop. But I did get me some reverse harnesses, which makes it so much easier to play with this stuff. Okay, all these Chrysler decks, your ground is a little lug on the back of the chassis. See, it's funny, I thought these reverse harnesses, because they're, the reverse, they're meant to replace what's in the vehicle. I always thought the colors would match the factory. No, they don't. So we're going to connect now our constant 12, our remote, turn the supply on. You see we flip the knob. It does nothing at all whatsoever. So we're going to break this thing open and see if it's something simple like a broken solder joint or something. Okay. Well, I think this is about the same as the Infinity. Our knobs have to come off. I need somewhere to put these. I'll put them inside a speaker cone. This doesn't even have lights in the sliders. It's got the holes in it for the light to go, but there is no light. Now, what makes this deck a little more difficult than the Infinity deck is there's no normal screws. It uses Allen keys. So that just makes everything a little more difficult. Alright. Clean this thing up all nice too. Just take these two screws on the side out. I don't really know how this deck comes apart exactly, but most of them are pretty similar. Okay, there's the screws out. Ow, that sounded painful. Now we need to pry up the metal tabs on the top and the bottom. Or the plastic ones. I'm just going to put this thing on my lap. It's so much easier. This thing is well and truly stuck to itself. Ugh. See, what's even better is this thing's coated in red dust. This is actually paint from I don't know how many years ago when he repainted one of his cars in the garage. Didn't exactly cover the opening very well between the two bays, and paint got fucking everywhere. I've never been inside this thing. When I brought it in here a couple of years ago, I was going to open it and look inside of it, but I never did because I couldn't figure out how to get it open. But now that I've done a few of these decks, they're all really similar. Is it fighting, or did I forget something on these knobs? I don't see a nut that has to come off. Nope. So the knobs come off with the face. So this corner is just stuck. What are you hanging on? I have to be careful because the screen is connected by a ribbon cable. I don't want to pull that out. I think this plastic is just biting the heatsink really well. Which it was. Ha. So is this in a connector? Can I pop this out? Okay. There we go. A couple more Allen keys here in the back, and then this top will come off. That's not helping me any. Look at all the paint. If anyone cares. There you go. There's no way I'm getting this motherboard out of here. It's soldered to the chassis in 6 spots. What I'm doing now is I'm just cleaning all this paint off. It's all just dust, so it just comes off. But first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can find some bad solder joints, mainly around these connectors, because I see no reason why for this thing to work perfectly one day and then just dead. Maybe the reverse polarity diode has shorted. I know, as all these automotive circuit boards, they're always coated in this wax, and as you see, it's just coming right off. Ugh. You can tell this is definitely a newer model by the amplifier ICs. It still uses the 2 stereo ones, but they look to be a modern-day multi-watt package, not the funky thing that the Infinity deck over there uses. Maybe if I can get inside, we'll see what the chips are. Let's go ahead and test our diode. Hope it's something easy like this thing's shorted. Huh. Oops. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that's a capacitor charging. Thou shalt check voltages. Okay, we're getting our voltage on our remote. We're getting nothing on our constant 12. How does that work? I'm going to resolder all the pins on these connectors. These pins don't like to take solder very well. I'm just going to redo all these pins I ever made as well. I'm in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat up a bit more. I think it's that wax coating. I don't know what this coating is, but I don't like it. I just thought of something. It should probably have its face connected. Considering that's how you turn the thing on and off. I don't know why I have no voltage on this pin. That's the constant 12. Yep, all the pins line up. I'm not like one off. Which is funny is the red wire, which should be our remote, has our voltage, but also connects to this massive trace that feeds the power amp. So, is my reverse harness backwards, or I'm gonna look up this plug online. No, this is correct. So, I don't know, I forgot. Am I missing the remote? Or the constant? I'm missing the constant. I have remote, it's right there. How the fuck does this work? Oh well, let's dig farther inside of it. I hope I don't need to undo all these tabs, because my iron doesn't get hot enough to resolder them. Because they come in from the chassis and go to these ground planes, and I don't have enough heat to do that. Well, it's looking like that's what I'm going to have to do. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe I can come in from this side. I'll start removing more hex keys and see where that gets us. Yeah, this looks like I can take this top off. Ow, pitched my finger. What is this? Maybe that's what the face was catching on. Yes, sirree. This is definitely how it comes apart. This is not the... That is the neatest plug. It looks like the plug that RAM sticks use in desktop. You push these keys down and the plug pops out. That is so cool. Now here's our tape deck. There's nothing of real interest in this. I know what I can do. I'll wipe off the playhead. Got a vintage Phillips chip. I'll look this up later. It's a TDA 3612. You see it hiding in there. And that's not what we're after. Set you aside. Okay. I think the problem's with our connector itself. It's this one. I'm thinking maybe the teeth aren't biting down. I'm seeing all kinds of goodies in here. This is old school. It's all through-hole dip packages. We have a Chrysler custom part, but it's a Motorola SC4204 76CB. We have a bunch of ST parts. Another Motorola. There we go. Oh, I never know. Ouch! Ow, that hurt. Never noticed it's got one of these multi-watt packages. It's multi-output voltage reg. I never noticed that. I don't feel like going through all these chips. I'll take a high-res photo and post it in the video. If you want to look at them, here they are. So I found one issue. On the gray connector on the inside, the pin at the far end, which is your constant 12, it was extremely corroded. So, shot some deoxit in it. Pulled the plug a couple times. I guess I'll just see if I'd done anything. Well, I couldn't get a picture of this multi-output voltage regulator on the back. Look how they done the clamp. You can't really, they stamped it out of the rear and just folded it over. And this is probably steel, so yeah, I couldn't get it out of the way. Now, let's ground. Yeah, make sure it's not backwards. We're still dead. The problem's in this plug somewhere. When I stick, okay, the pin that comes out of the plug and goes to the board. Here it is on the actual wire at the end of the harness. Okay, voltage is good. Or if I stick it on the trace, which connects to the back of this plug, there's nothing. Or if I get my probe and I shove it way in there, we have it. But it's not at board level. So the issue is that plug, and I don't know what is wrong with the plug. So what I've done is I've removed the connector from the back. That was fun to do because it has, I've lost it. Where'd it go? That was fun because on the connectors there was one of these solid metal plates that I had to unsolder in 3 spots. These are incredibly hard to remove because this is essentially a heatsink, and on top of that, this is a double-sided board. So I had to flip my iron all the way to maximum, and I was able to get that out. But I'm see if I can bring the camera closer. You can see the constant 12-volt pin is all corroded. It almost looks like it got wet, but you'd think the other ones would have been corroded too. Alright, we're in handheld. So here's our pins. Look at our constant 12. Whoops, got too close. See how it's just all corroded away? I'm going to see if it's possible if I could de-pin it and fix that. So what I've done is this connector here, I pulled it apart. The pin looks fine. And then we got this part. Here's our corroded pin. It's right on the end. You can kind of see how it's real dark colored, and that side's just like normal tin. It's not wanting to focus. Autofocus is non-existent apparently, but I'm gonna see if I can pull this pin out of here and scrub it up a bit. For now, see if I can get real close to show you how this works exactly. So the little loopy at the top there What it is when your top pin comes in, it presses against the top of our loopy and kind of squeezes it down. And so it's all just a friction fit. So I'm going to see if I can pull this, polish the top of that, and that should fix the issue. Because this connector, those are solid pins there. They're straight all the way through. And there's no friction on the bottom as it just goes straight to this. So, see if I can figure out how that comes out. So I got the little pin out. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look on the bottom, there's a little tooth that kind of sticks out. Well, that comes through the slits in the bottom. So you just push that pin down, stick a screwdriver in the back, and just, boom, slide it out. You see, it's all corroded. But see how shiny this side is? I took some sandpaper to that. Now, in an attempt to stop it corroding again, I'm also going to put just a little bit of solder on it to kind of tin it. And then I'll, just stick it back in the plug and I guess see if it works. Forgot to press record button. All you missed was me, me putting some solder on this. And I almost dropped it. Yeah, I can't really see. Yeah, I just put solder on it. So we're going to put it back into its case. And let's try it out. I'm going to bend it up just a little bit so there's some more tension on it. I'm also putting it in backwards. That's always a great start. Now we just push it in. Uh-oh. Got to bring it back out. I got to bend that locking pin back out or else it won't lock in. That should be good. And there it is. I don't know if the camera heard it, but it just clicked in place. And then it goes on the connector like this. Just presses on. I'm going to do a continuity test to see if there's now continuity between the inside pin, just to make it easier, and the pin that connects, the pin that you soldered to the circuit board. I'm having a hard time finding my words today. This meter doesn't do very well below about 10 ohms. That's just a limitation of the chipset. Okay, if I can get this back out, I'll resolder this into the chassis and give it some power. Speaking of chassis, oh, here it is. I was say I lost the chassis, but nope. Okay, so it goes in pretty easily. Just bring it in from inside, and you press it down. It's got these little plastic grippy pins, English, and it's set in there. Now we're going to put this bar back. However, I'm not going to solder it down yet. I'm just going to put it in there backwards. I'll just tack solder the connector in. Then if it works, I'll fully resolder it all. Okay, so I only need 2 pins, which are both of them from the far opposite side of the key. You know, the little key right there. Yep. Tack you on. Tack you on. I wonder why all factory head units are upside down. Sure, there's a reason for it. This connector for the face is also keyed, so you can't put it in backwards. Well, here we go. Let's see if it powers on. We should get a clock on the screen. Well, would you look at that? I'm proud of myself. I fixed this poor old radio. Alright. I'm going to solder this the rest of the way in. Get it together enough. Actually, never mind. I don't need to get it together anymore to play some music. Whew. I'm getting excited. Alright, let's just do a time lapse of me soldering this together. I'm also doing this just a little heavier than factory. Now there's 2 pins that don't have anything connected to them. I'm just going to tack them down. Ooh, my tip's about to fall out. Oh boy, it's good thing I caught that. I do not want to have a soldering iron tip on my lap. Okay, get my other reverse harness. I'm going to plug it in. Alligator clips. I need alligator clips to connect speaker leads. Okay. I got my little FM transmitter board going here. I have some NCS EDM type music going on. I'm just going to get me a knob so I can turn this easier. I got me a set of speakers connected, a pair of them through the spaghetti wires back there. Make sure nothing is shorting. I never thought of that. I don't know if these chips are new enough to have short circuit protection. Be fine. Let's just slide this on. Switch it to AM, FM, and see if it comes across my transmitter. It's 105 something, I think. Oh, okay. Okay, smart ass. Let's turn the transistor on, then see if it picks it up. What the? It found it. It stopped. That's the wrong button. I thought we had another issue. How can I tune manually? So, it's working, but I can't figure out why the signal is so amazingly weak. Because I've done the same method where I get the wire and I just stick it in the antenna hole. That works great with my Infinity deck. There's a little bit of noise, but it's nowhere near this bad. Okay, I guess that's an issue with my transmitter because this is a local station from my town. Not very loud, but it works. Wait, it's held memory presets? Or is the default just happens to be that? It has memory! These are all local stations. This one's weak, and as is this. Okay, I'm trying the transmitter again.
Something small about the biggest small town in America. Like this way.
I guess it's 105.5, not 105.7. I thought my Infinity Deck said 105. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got so many numbers to go into my head right now, I don't even know. Okay, now I can play it without having to worry about copyright Nazis. And get some volume. I just realized how I can tune manually. I forgot there's a knob for it. Wow! You can hear it get quieter. It's not clipping no more. Only problem is when it does that, you kind of have to reset it by turning it down and then back up. It is now, it's not clipping. So cool.
I'm some clown from out of town. I get down, I've been around, I ain't no hand-me-down. So you gotta show respect for me, and check it for me, and don't sweat me, cause I really don't want no sweat on me.
It gets so quiet. Now listen to that.
Don't tease me.
and now it's no longer clipping. I need to look up those chips because I'm really curious how that system works. It's got a monitor from the output. Oh, out is. If I would have looked it up, I would have known. I bet these chips have output clip detectors automatically, and when it starts to clip, it triggers a digital volume control chip, and it auto turns it down. I bet that's how that works. So when you play with this stuff for a while, you see they're all extremely similar. I just realized something. It took me till the end to realize I took the knobs off and I didn't have to do that. Speakers are connected to the front apparently.
When I come home from making Lucci the parlay, if you got it, good, flaunt it. You know what it takes and you know how I want it. Don't tease me, just please. Now what you gonna do when we get it? Don't tease me, just please. Now what you gonna do when you get it?
Okay, I just shut it off about 5 seconds ago. I've been playing with this thing for probably an hour. I connected another speaker to it to try to get more of a load, and I can just barely keep my hand on the heatsink. However, our little multi-watt multi-output voltage regulator back here, I stuck a thermometer on it a few minutes ago and it read about 135. Wonder what it'll still read. It's cooled off pretty quickly because it uses the whole back as the heatsink. But I forgot to solder down that little plastic 3-pin bar that keeps these connectors in place. So I'm going to connect that back up. Then I'm going to start putting this thing back together. This big dip package here, I forget what's there, but it's hot. Okay, that package that's getting hot is that big ST chip. Input filter is quite warm. There we go. I went too far back. Battery died. It didn't give me putting the front on. All I did was just put it on and kind of snap it in. I got 4 screws. And then it is all done and back together. And there you go. This is now complete. So, if you guys enjoyed the video of this teardown and repair of the Chrysler insert part number and video editing base, this was a base model cassette deck, or head unit. The model above it would have been this. Well, that's not very helpful. Let's get the face. This would have been a base model. Your premium sound would have been this. Then the Infinity, which was the best of the best, was this, but you had a 5-band EQ and a factory amplifier hidden behind a kick panel. But again, if you guys enjoyed the video of the repair of this thing, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye for now. Oh! My brake pedal just went to the floor. That's nice. I have my brake foot to the floor and it's not holding the vehicle. Okay, that's scary. I did not make this harness. This radio has been in this thing for almost a decade. Should I do a video on this? It's a boxer puppy. And a husky. And a cat.